Assalamu alaikum students. Today I am here with the new lesson of the mole concept. Um, Previously we have learned already how to find out the percentage by mass of an element in a compound. Now today uh, we will learn in mole concept actually about the mole, that what mole is. So if we are going to define for mole, so a mole is a term used to describe or measure the amount of particles For example, the particles are of what type? The particles can be atoms in an element, it can be molecules in a compound, or as well as ions in an ionic compound, or we can also talking about the subatomic particles like protons, electrons and neutrons, etc. These are also known as particles. Or we can also define the moles in other form: the amount of substance that contains the same number of atoms or molecules. In other words, we can call them the particles. As there are atoms in 12 grams of carbon, 12 atom. So in other words, we can say that amount of substance that contains the same number of atoms or molecules, as there are atoms in 12 grams of carbon 12. Previously, as we linked the carbon 12 with relative atomic mass and relative molecular mass. So mole is SI unit of chemical quantity. It is a unit of chemical quantity, SI unit, and denoted by MOL. It is denoted by MOL. Previously, you had already calculated about the relative atomic mass, relative atomic mass, which is an average mass of isotopes of an element, and as well as for relative molecular mass. Relative molecular mass. Now, there is another term which is molar mass. Molar mass. In order to learn about the molar mass, we have to first understand that what is a mole. Like 1 mole of hydrogen gas. 1 mole of hydrogen gas equals to H2. 2 moles of hydrogen gas, hydrogen gas 2H2 means 2 moles, so on 3 moles 3H2. Similarly, 1 mole of hydrogen gas is H2 and its Mr will be the molar mass of hydrogen, means the mass of 1 mole of any of the substance is known as its molar mass. Mass of 1 mole of any of the substance is called its molar mass, and its units are gram per mole. For example, 1 mole of water, 1 mole of water equals to H2O. So 1 mole of water is H2O, and if we are going to calculate Mr of water, Mr of water is 2 hydrogen atoms plus 1 oxygen atom. 2 times 1 is the atomic mass of hydrogen, and 16 times 1, answer will be 18. So 18 gram per mole will be the mass of 1 mole of water. Similarly, 1 mole of 1 mole of ammonia, 1 mole of ammonia is NH3, and Mr of ammonia is 1 nitrogen atom plus 3 hydrogen atoms. So 14 plus 3 times 1, answer will be 17 gram per mole. 17 is the mass of 1 mole of ammonia. In this way, we can calculate the molar mass of any of the substance. So number of moles of any of the substance can be linked to molar mass. That can be the relative molecular mass for 1 mole of molecule, or relative atomic mass. So over here we can say that number of moles of any of the substance is linked to molar mass, and molar mass can be the Mr, means relative molecular mass for 1 mole of a molecule, or its relative atomic mass for 1 mole atom of an element. Suppose 1 mole of copper. 1 mole of copper is Cu. This is 1 mole of copper, and its molar mass, as we know that its atomic mass is, relative atomic mass of copper is 64. So molar mass of copper will be 64, which is actually the relative atomic mass for 1 mole atom of copper. Now, how can we link the number of moles of any of the substance with its molar mass. So number of moles moles number of moles equals to mass in grams divided by molar mass. Molar mass, that will be grams per mole. Number of moles are denoted by somehow letter n. Number of moles are denoted by letter n. So number of moles are equals to mass in grams over molar mass or grams per mole, or we can also modify this relation in this form, like number of moles equals to mass in grams over mR of molecule, or we can also write it in the form mass in grams divided by relative atomic mass of atom. So in this way we can calculate the number of moles of any of the substance. Now we can take the examples of some of the questions in which we can calculate the number of moles of substances. Calculate by solving these examples. Calculate the number of moles of each of the following substances. Number of moles of each of the following substances. First one, A part, is 40 grams of nitrogen dioxide. Number of moles of 40 grams of nitrogen dioxide. In order to calculate the number of moles of 40 grams of nitrogen dioxide, we need to first calculate its molar mass. So the molar mass, or mR, in simple words you may calculate the mR. One atom of nitrogen and two atoms of oxygen. One atom of nitrogen has atomic mass 14, 2 times 16, so it is 14 plus 16 twos are 32. Answer will be 46. Now what we will have to do, number of moles of nitrogen dioxide equals to mass over its mR. Its mass is 40 divided by its mR is 46. Now we are going to calculate 40 divided by 46. Answer will be 0.87 if we will round it to 2 decimal places. So 0.87 moles. And we can get another example like 54 grams of water, H2O. Calculate number of moles of each of the following substance. The second example is 54 gram of water. First of all, we have to calculate the mR of water, which is 2 atoms of hydrogen plus 1 atom of oxygen. 2 times 1 plus 16 2 plus 16, answer will be 18. Now we are going to write that number of moles of water equals to mass over mr, and it is 54 is mass and mr is 18. 54 divided by 18, answer will be 3. So your answer will be 3 moles. Now we will discuss an example for the moles of an element, and in which we can discuss that 15 gram of magnesium. 15 gram of magnesium. As we know that relative atomic mass of magnesium is 24. So number of moles of magnesium is equals to mass over relative atomic mass, and mass is 15. Mass is 15 while its relative atomic mass is 24. Now 15 divided by 24 and our answer will be 0.625 mole. 0.625 mole. In this way we can calculate the number of moles of an element or a molecule by using the formula like number of moles equals to mass over mr, or number of moles equals to mass over relative atomic mass, which we can describe as number of moles equals to mass over molar mass. It can also be reshifted, means that we can rearrange this formula in the form that mass of substance, mass in grams, can be equals to number of moles multiplied by its mr, or we may change this in the form like number of moles into relative atomic mass, that would be the mass in grams. Suppose calculate the mass of 0.65 mole of sodium chloride. We have to calculate the mass of 0.6 mole of sodium chloride. Previously we have the mass and we were calculating the moles. Now we have the moles and we have to calculate the mass. Sodium chloride, as we know that it's a compound, we will have to first calculate its mr. 1 atom of sodium, 1 atom of chlorine. 1 atom of sodium has atomic mass 23 while chlorine 35.5. The total sum will be 58.5. Now mass in grams equals to number of moles multiplied by its mr. So number of moles, how many? 0.65, relative atomic mass is 58.5, which we can also say that it is the molar mass. So 58.5 multiplied by 0.65, answer will be 30.025 grams. In this way we can calculate the mass of the substances if their moles are given, and if the mass is given we can calculate their moles. So this was related to the first impression of the mole concept, and we will discuss the next one in our next lesson inshallah. Till then, Allah Hafiz.